Hey guys, welcome to the Buttermilk Box. Chef Terry here. It's about time we did something sweet. And today we're going to make a buttermilk pie with a homemade all butter crust. So the first thing we need to do is get this crust together. Very, very simple. I wouldn't give you a recipe that is hard, I promise. 1 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, a half of a teaspoon of kosher salt, a half of a tablespoon of sugar, and that's it. It's not all of it, but in the bowl of the food processor, and all we need to do is just pulse this a few times just to aerate it. Okay? The other things we have are our butter, which I'm keeping in the freezer right up until the moment that we need it. Okay? So it can all go in at one time. See that I cut it into little chunks. Oops, losing some. But it is frozen to this bowl. And we need to pulse this just a few times. When you're here with the machine, you can hear when it's starting to become much smaller size pieces of butter, especially when it's ice cold and frozen like that. You can really hear it whirling around in there. And I have an undisclosed amount of water. Just for purposes, let's go ahead and measure it. This is ice water. The recipe calls for 2 to 4 tablespoons. So let's start with 2. I'm just going to pour in while I'm pulsing. I just want this to come together. When it comes together, I'm going to stop. And we have a dough. That simple, everybody. So the next step for this is to get it onto the work surface, which we want to have dry because we're putting flour on it. We just want a little bit of bench flour. Nothing much. All right, we're not making 14 loaves of bread here. We just need to pull this out. Please, please, please be careful whenever you're removing that blade. Get it out of the way. I'm going to just go ahead and wash this as soon as I'm done here because we're going to be using the food processor to also make the filling for our buttermilk pie. I told you this is so simple, but it is so good. Cover it up. It's just gone through quite a lot. So we're going to put this in the refrigerator and we're going to let it sit for about 30 minutes just to let that gluten relax so that as we are rolling it out, it's not fighting us back. There we go. Keep that air out of there, it'll dry. You don't want that. So, when we come back, this will still be chilling and we're going to be making our filling for the buttermilk pie itself. So, we'll see you right back. Hey guys, we're back. Now it's time to make that filling. The pie dough is still resting in the refrigerator. We've got plenty of time and this can actually sit while we continue to wait, keeping our area clean. In our bowl, I have 1 cup of regular sugar. I use cane sugar, so if you can see it, it's a little darker than bleached whatever sugar. And some nice dark brown sugar. I love the flavor of the molasses that comes from that dark brown sugar. And we're going to need about 3/4 of an orange, just a normal size orange. Of that zest. Remember, when you're zesting, you only want that dark outside edge. You don't want anything past that or you're getting into the pith, and that is really, really bitter and very unpleasant. So just keep going. Notice that I'm holding on to the bowl with my hand that's holding the zester, and I'm doing all the work with the fruit itself. It's the same way if I was doing a lemon, lime, anything. I like to be able to hold that zester still while the fruit in my other hand does all the work. And so you probably are noticing there's no orange juice in this recipe. All of our orange flavor is just coming from the zest itself. Comparatively, there's no flavor in an orange juice compared to the flavor that you can get out of the zest. So now what I want us to do, because I don't want to strain this because I'm lazy. So I'm just going to process this until I am sure that those pieces of orange zest are completely disintegrated almost, because we don't want to eat those. So I'm going to turn this on high and we'll be right back. Okay, that probably will do it. So the next things that we need to add are, let's see, we need a good bit of vanilla. Don't be shy with vanilla, but also don't go crazy with it. So I'm thinking maybe a teaspoon. If not, don't bother putting it in. Not to be that kind of guy, but don't bother. Eggs go in. We have 3 eggs. I'm going to crack those in, and I cracked the you-know-what out of that one. So hopefully the only shell here is on the counter. Just open them up right into it. Notice I'm cracking on a flat surface. Not that it helps that much. But we also have 1 stick of melted butter. Those are my dogs going crazy upstairs. And 1 cup of buttermilk. All goes into the food processor and back on, and we're just going to blend this until it's together. And that's it. We've done it. So, just take a little more time. And now this is just going to sit until our pie dough is ready to come out and roll. This gets poured in, and that's as simple as it is. See you back when that's ready. Okay guys, we are finally back. Thanks for watching the last couple of seconds of me doing nothing. So, we have our filling, we have our very cold pie shell, and now we're going to pour it in. We want to make sure that it doesn't overflow. Of course, it's full of egg, it's a custard, so it is going to rise until it's nice and fluffy and done. We're going to start with 400 degrees for about 10 minutes. I'm going to reduce the temperature to 350, and it's going to go for about 45 minutes to an hour. After about 45 minutes, I want you to, welcome Wally, I want you to start checking it. Give it a wiggle. When it wiggles just in the very center, you know that it's ready, okay? Wiggling all over, not good. But just in that very center, the residual heat's going to finish cooking that for us, and it won't be cracked or dry or curdled. Okay. I'll see you in another hour. Bye. Well, okay guys, here is our finished pie. Obviously, I covered it with powdered sugar because the top isn't as pretty as it could be, but just wait till we get into this pie. Beautiful. And guys, here it is, sliced. Look at this gorgeous crust. Nice and thick. I do wish it would focus better. Nice, you can just tell how rich this pie is going to be. Gorgeous. It cuts very, very well. Just a beautiful pie. I hope that you guys really get to enjoy this recipe. You make it, people love it. Thanks a lot guys. This has been a lot of fun. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. Please subscribe, like, click that bell, all those things. And if you're interested in the recipe, look below in the description. There's a link to my recipe page. Thanks a lot, everybody. Bye-bye.